Hi Scorpios, welcome. It has been quite a while since my last zodiac reading, but we're back and I am so happy to be reading for you guys. I'm quite excited and I pray that if you are not doing well, I pray that you are well, of course, but if you are not, that this reading truly brings you a load of love, light, and clarity. So, without further ado, this reading is for Scorpio peoples, of course. If you have Scorpio nowhere in your charts, don't worry about it. Though major placements can include, but are not limited to, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North and South Node. These are general readings, so take what is yours and leave what is not, of course. Pretty sure you know that if you are watching these. But, if you don't resonate with Scorpio at all, it is just an energy. We can embody this at any time, regardless of our astrological chart. So, yes, without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start with intentions, of course. Don't mind the random Korean written all over my hands and wrists. I haven't wrote it down yet in my book. Okay. So just don't mind it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. So Scorpios, for the Scorpio collective, what is it that they need to hear now? For clarity, confirmation, and loving light for the highest good of all, allow me to channel all that needs to be channeled, infusing both of these decks that I will be using, the Modern Witch Tarot deck and the Prism Oracle deck, with the loving light of clarity and the energy needed to channel. Thank you so much for heightening my spiritual abilities, Holy Spirit. And thank you for giving both me and my viewers protection during this time, and forever and always. Thank you for this moment, for all that is, was, and ever will be. Thank you. Amen. Okay. Please infuse this deck with all your loving light. Alrighty. For Scorpios, let's see. What is it that they need to hear now? Well, whoa. Let's see, guys. I am getting a very interesting energy so far. It feels very, I almost want to say confident, but it's more so just sure of yourself. So whoever that is, I love it. I absolutely do. Keep it going. Rock on. I have not said that in like my entire life. Okay, we got love. Yes, love to start off your beautiful reading. It makes sense. There is just such a lovely energy, and I'm looking at I have a little candle down there. I don't know if you can hear the crackling of the wood. It's a coastal sunset wood wick, and I have set the intention for just unconditional love, right? And I just keep looking back at it, like through this entire reading, even before that came out. So adorable, adorable. For Scorpios, cleanse. You know, I just did clean too. I got new sage, blue sage to be specific with you, which cleanse, blue. So cleansing is obviously something Spirit is pointing out right now. As I say this, I'm noticing like the dust on this. I just cleaned it, but when I opened my blue sage, which is actually kind of funny that it correlates, all you saw was just this dust of it going everywhere. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. It wasn't like dust, but point. So cleaning your surroundings as well as the spiritual air. The reason why cleansing works like that is because energy is being put into another form, right? There's fire, there's air, there's water, and there's earth, right? Using not only a mix of fire earth and air, does that smoke disperse and transmute the air. So whatever your intention is and your emotional body, that's why they say to get in that feeling when you're trying to use like sage or smudging, right? It's to get in that energy of cleanliness, or just positivity, love, unconditional love, understanding, right? The highest light, peace. And it just transmutes because it just coats over the air and it just irradiates anything besides that vibration that it's putting out, right? So interesting. And we have reflection. Everything that you experience, both internally and externally, is a reflection of your internal world. I have a... Ooh, do I have it on my wall? I'm not sure. Me looking around my room to look for this quote. It's something along the lines of... No, wait, hold on. I'm not gonna butcher it. I have it in a notebook, my handy dandy notebook. A reflection is nothing more than a reflection. Mold it, shape it, however you please. So, if you don't like what you see, how can you change it? If you love what you see, how can you continue to elevate that and continue your loving light? All right. Comfort is at the bottom of the deck, so we have 2 pinks out and 2 blues. I feel like we're good for now with these. Yeah, pink's definitely standing out in this reading. I know we got 2 blues like actually out, but pink just keeps coming to me because the pink of the candle and the pink of this little lamp thing that I have over there keeps catching my eye. So, let's see. Scorpio, there's this... I feel like the message with just these 3 cards before we even get any tarot is definitely just, what are you seeing around you? I'm noticing myself being very observatory. Sorry, I'm butchering words, I'm sorry. But looking around and observing. I'm noticing myself doing that. I'm noticing the little things, and I'm noticing dirt or little bits of pieces, dust around, right? And I feel like these are my confirmations that the things that you're trying to experience, right, is this comfort love. It's this bright warmth that kind of envelops your entire being and allows you to just exist on cloud 9. Like I said in that beginning, it was almost like confidence. It was that self-assured feeling. And I feel like it's just more so, I'm understanding it now as you're just existing and you're just living out of love. You're not doing it recklessly and you're not doing it carelessly. You're just being in tune with everything around you. And it's not overwhelming. It's just, you're noticing what does and doesn't work. You can admire certain things, but you can also see what needs to change. I'm feeling as though you're seeing both sides of the spectrum with clarity, and there's no emotions that are hindering the way that you see things. Another thing I have on my wall is, this is actually on my wall, I promise. It says, don't let me can't read. Don't let I don't know what the word is. I can read it, but I can't read it from here. Don't allow unexamined, there we go. I have glasses on, but I still can't read. Don't allow unexamined emotions to overwhelm your growth. I'm so sorry. Point. It's you don't have any of that. You are very aware and you're just existing as who you are. So, it's really beautiful. And I feel like around you, it's just the only thing Spirit's saying is to continue noticing the things that you want to change and act on it. Act on it out of inspired action because you know that you deserve a better internal or external life, right? And the more that you can understand and know that you deserve that, the more that you act on it, right? So that I really feel like that's why the reflection and the cleanse thing is there. And notice how the water is like the dotted ones and the water is in the reflection of this mirror, and water is very malleable, so it's like saying this reflection is malleable. It's whatever you present it, right? You see how it's not all water, right? It's the fact that you, this representation of you in this card is the water, and it presents whatever it wants, and all it does is reflect back. So, pretty straightforward there, my darling. Let's see. Oh, wow. Page of Wands slammed itself out. Yeah, you're excited. You're inspired to take that action. You don't mind that you don't, let's say, this would be a good example. It's like when you go into school, right? Your first day of school, let's say. You are going there to learn, right? You are not supposed to know everything beforehand. Like, what's the point? But instead, you're excitedly looking out at your future, at this opportunity, at just life in general, I feel. And allowing it to serve its purpose as you follow yours, as you serve your purpose. It's like you're going to that school to learn. You don't have to know everything, right? You're confident in just you can handle whatever it throws at you. They're gonna teach you everything you need to know before they give you the test, you know? You see that? You know you're gonna know the stuff before it's needed to be applied. They're not gonna make you apply knowledge that they did not teach you. And so it's like this understanding that you can face anything that life throws at you. You have been taught the things that you're gonna need to know, right? And continue to know. And the things that you don't know are being taught to you in this very moment. It's that clarity coming to you as it needs. And you're just so confident, and you're so, there's such a beautiful feeling that you and the connection share this like divine connection. Well, of course you do, but it feels like a very strong connection. You just know, you have such a trust in the divine that the universe is just going to work out how it's going to work out, and it's going to work out in a way that is almost in your favor. Like, of course in your favor. It's for your highest good. Everything in your highest good. You take it as it comes. 6 of Wands, victory. Yeah, you know that your life is being led towards such beautiful things, and you're very confident in this. I feel like you may actually like look like this woman. Her very, like, the way she dresses and her beautiful hair. I mean, that style is really pretty. But point, these clothing, it almost like you don't have to dress nicely to prove that you're abundant, right? But like, when you feel better, I feel like you do better. And like, if you feel really shitty, you're probably not going to want to get dressed. You'll probably stay in PJs, and as comfy as it is, it's kind of nice sometimes to go out dressed up, right? Like, it feels like you're not doing it for anyone else. It's just an expression of how vibrant and abundant you feel. Like, it's that expression, right? There's something about the expression there. So we have this, right, at the bottom of the deck, Queen of Cups, and then the Devil was peeking out, and I felt the need to just kind of like ignore it. So I actually, instead of ignoring it, it didn't feel like I should ignore it. It was more so of this feeling like I don't want to acknowledge it. So I just want to briefly bring up, I feel like the spirit, like Holy Spirit, angels, your ancestors, guides, whatever you want to say, they're trying to mention that you may have some, when triggers come up, you don't have to ignore them. Remember that thing, don't let unexamined emotions overwhelm your growth, right? If they're unexamined, it's not going to be good for either you or the universe. On the other hand, if you acknowledge whatever trigger comes about, what is it teaching you, and what kind of understanding or healing can be brought from it, right? Like, every trigger is just something for you to heal from. And it may seem overwhelming, but I don't feel like you think it's overwhelming. I think you just don't want to even acknowledge it because you just want to stay in this lovely energy. And I feel like you can, while also examining those uncomfortable emotions. You can do it from a higher perspective. Wow, this is very... You can do it from a higher perspective, and when you do it from the higher perspective of your higher self, of the most loving divine, you think and you act and you do out of unconditional love, and I feel like it's so healing for you. Especially in your emotions, that cleansing may have to be dealing with not only your external and spiritual, but your emotional. So yeah, Seven of Cups, interesting. Seven of Cups, what's the Seven of Cups about? Five of Wands and Ace of Swords. Those uncomfortabilities that you don't want to even acknowledge. There may have been people, you see how I noticed these people were kind of in the background. They didn't really feel significant, and I didn't really feel as though they were so much as eye on eye watching. They were more just observing, right, and looking ahead. And I feel like you are this lone person, perhaps. And then there's all these people. I feel like this is rather a representation of people than of opportunities. Though it could be, take it how it resonates. Some of these people are snakes, right? Or they're divine love. Some of these are something that looks good, but in reality has thorns, right? Some of these are just money. Some of these are, like destruction, fighting, all these things. And then with the Five of Wands that came after, it was like all these people made me think of that. It's all the chaos around you, and you see how they're all in the clouds, and then the Ace of Swords comes through and clears all of it. So it's like that cleansing of, perhaps these were past energies of yours, because these are all in it's the cups, which is the hearts, but it's in the air, which more deals with the mind, right? Like the swords are the mind as well. But I'm feeling the need to mention like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and Gemini. Any air signs, but definitely fire signs too. But Gemini was more standing out than anything. So, regardless of signs, as I was saying, Scorpio, you're dealing with perhaps a lot of people or their effect on you. And I feel as though Spirit's just trying to mention they're coming through with the divine sword to clear all of the bitterness. Like, these look like lemons to me. They're clearing the bitterness from the sky and instead allowing the sun to shine brightly and clarity to be seen. Again, if you don't like the reflection you're seeing, how can you change it? Perhaps you're holding on to things. If not, these people could just be spiritually attacking or just attacking in general, like quite literally, perhaps on social media or backstabbing. But these are people who are just fighting amongst themselves. You have no need to even give them day of mind, but if it triggers you, understand why it triggers you. More than anything, this is just about learning what purpose is this information leaving in your life, and if it's lingering, why is it lingering? Because Spirit's gonna quickly freshen your air up and cleanse it in ways of, if you learned your lesson, it's gone. If you learned all that you needed, just thank God and say you've learned all that you needed. And if you haven't, you will continue to learn until you have. But it's just that knowing and expression that, Spirit will do that for you. It already has. So time is just, we're experiencing time in an odd way. Everything has already happened. So anything else, Holy Spirit? Yeah, 10 of Wands. You holding on to those burdens. So to experiencing that love that we were talking about in the first place, you can experience even a higher amount of love, especially for yourself. 9 of Wands, if you just acknowledge all the hurt that you have. 9 of Wands and 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords is the everything's, or the I'm fine card, or everything's fine. Let me get a drink of water. My ring almost fell off. Oh my goodness. So, 5 of Cups, yeah, this could have just been dealing with past things, or perhaps people you're dealing with now. I feel as though Spirit's trying to notify you that if you can cleanse out your emotional system, you're not going to put up with the people who you put up with. You're not going to feel as heavy as you do now. I understand this cleanse and reflection now is a lot deeper than what I had previously mentioned, but it still stands, of course. The reflection is something that is being shown to you to make you learn something. I feel as though there are things in your surrounding that perhaps are not in your highest good and need to be cleansed out. And I feel like these are things that could be people who no longer serve you, or perhaps the emotional tie that you feel to this person that you do not let go of, right? We can say we lay something at God's feet, right, for example, but then go back and pick it up, and we pick it up by thinking about it and giving our power to it, right? If we're worried, let's say, about getting that job offer, if we say, you know what, God, universe, I give it to you, handle it for me, for my highest good, whatever this may be, and you let that go and you go carry about your day, and every time that thought comes back up, you acknowledge and you reaffirm to yourself that it's taken care of, everything is working in my favor, right? That's laying it down. On the other hand, if you go and do that, and then the next time it pops up, you're like, oh, maybe I didn't do, you're just questioning yourself, right? It's not how we do things. It's not healthy. And I feel like that's what the Ten of Wands is and the Five of Wands. It's like you're carrying these burdens. I saw the Ten of Wands when I was talking about the Seven of Cups, because it's like you're carrying all these things within you. And I feel like they're past things. They're past people. They're past energies. And you've almost created a line of barriers with it. And you're just like, you know what, I'll stay here because I'm fine. But you're not fine because you're staying stuck and defensive. And in reality, you're ready to move on. What is it that you need to learn from this situation? What is left? Pray for clarity. Let's see. Really, though, you need to acknowledge what's hurting you, my love. It is, like I said, you didn't want to acknowledge that devil, that inner hurt, the instability within yourself, or what feels like an instability, but is in reality is just, think of yourself like water. And you're always going to be water, regardless if it's a big wave or tiny ripples. Sometimes it can feel really uncomfortable in that large wave, but as soon as that large wave is over and it gets that energy out, those ripples come back again, and the softness is there. Remember how I said in the beginning, if you can look at things through your higher self and out of unconditional love, perhaps look at it through another person. If it's too hard to really imagine yourself, maybe imagine your own child or your mother or your sibling or your lover, whatever it is that's easier for you to have that unconditional love for. Imagine it like a little small child, a baby. They don't know anything, they're only taught things. And that's what we are, right? Regardless of how old we are, we're a baby, So, just please, I ask, and Spirit asks of you, examine those emotions, because you are so strong. And remember that confident energy, that Spirit's always going to teach you exactly what you need for you to pass that test. And I feel like right now they're trying to teach you something. So don't look away from it. Don't try to ignore it. It's not going to be any easier for you. And it's only prolonging the inevitable of learning something. It does not hurt to learn something. It only hurts our perception, right? If we let go of the ego, which is the devil, if we let go of our fixed perception of what has to be, right? Like I said, the reflection, mold it, shape it, change it. What do you want it to be? Make that you, and therefore everything around you changes. Just know that when you start experiencing not so great things, that doesn't mean it's not working. And also know that if you ever lucid dream, matter changes in an instant. When you think of something, it appears. In reality, though, in this 3D world, I shouldn't say reality, because how much more is reality than a lucid dream? In this physical world, matter takes a little longer to manifest. So kind of think about it like that. Everything is a delayed reaction in this world, kind of. Okay, so we have Five of Swords and the Lovers. Five, yeah. Leaving people go. I really feel like there's just that energy of letting people who were just fighting amongst themselves go, and allowing you to follow your inner path of the divine, aligning yourself to who you're meant to be around. The Tower, yeah. See how one person got stabbed here, right? And another person's just falling. It's like you're this person, and the people who are no longer serving you metaphorically are stabbed. They are taken out of your life. I do feel like this is people, and because you're aligning to something much greater, you can't be around people who waste time and energy fighting amongst themselves. We may love these people, and honestly, we should love everything and all, even a murderer. We have love for them, and in every moment we try to understand them more and more, and the more we understand ourselves, the more we can have an understanding for others. So any last advice before closing off this reading, Spirit? Ace of Wands, Page of Cups, Seven of Wands, Three of Swords, Six of Cups. Okay. So Page of Cups has been really significant in the collective lately, but Ace of Wands, lots of wand energy, fire, Aries, Leo, Sag, like I was talking about. That fiery energy of just going after what you deserve, and because you do, like that reflection of you get rid of what no longer serves you, it makes room for what you do deserve. And I feel like the Page of Cups lately has just been signifying that, you know what, you're gonna get what you deserve. And the Seven of Wands just affirms that to me, that you're standing your ground. These people who tried fighting you is no longer making an impact on you, both in your own world and on the external world, right? They can only affect you if you let them affect you. It may be a harsh reality sometimes, and the accountability is really hard, but I promise you, it makes it so much easier. Also, Page of Cups is really significant. I'm noticing the three pink things, the three pink flowers here. So 3 may be significant. 3 people, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, just 3. Countdown perhaps. Point, since you made room and got rid of those people who weren't in alignment with you, or are no longer in alignment with you, they were at one point, of course, that's why they were there. But now that you've raised your vibration, you're aligning with people who are also of a higher vibration. You have the Three of Swords, and you have the Six of Cups to end off your reading. For you guys, Scorpio, 3212. Also, you have the Magician at the bottom of the deck. Time is running out on the timer, I'm sorry. So, before we end this off, I want to say, because you hold your ground and because you find those swords rested deep within your heart in that cloud, the Ace of Swords here shined light into all of that. Remember, we talked about the cups, right? These cups were of your heart, and they were clouded by so much confusion, and Spirit came in and washed that confusion away, perhaps through a sword of rain to clear off the blood and all of that, right? Maybe the clouds were needed to get rid of the rain, and then the sword came through to get rid of the clouds, and then you finally had the Six of Cups, which is the Page of Cups. Someone coming through with so much love, because you are love. You are happy. I love you guys. Have an amazing day. Bye.